Hi everyone, welcome back to JPWHUTV. My name is John, your host. As always, I hope you're all doing well. The subject of today's video is discussing West Ham versus Huddersfield at the London Stadium at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. It's nice to have a home game to talk about. Let's start off, as always, with the opposition. Physioroom.com are confirming that there's a possibility of 3 players being fit for this game for Huddersfield. Congolo, Duhaney and Deportia, I think you pronounced that, are all likely to be either training or return with some guys for this game. Huddersfield's long-term injuries are Hogg with a rib injury, Diakabi with a hamstring, and Benza with a calf strain, and Williams with an MCL knee ligament injury. But again, those guys were all expected to return to some form of training or playing by the end of the month. Now, turning to Huddersfield's highest goal scorers, Matthias Jorgensen is their top goal scorer with 3 goals and 1 assist, if I remember correctly. Billing, Mui and Mooney, I can never pronounce those two properly, have also got 2 goals, but it's no surprise that they are rock bottom of the league at the moment. They really are right literally at the bottom. Keep propping Fulham up, basically. This is the first of 2 away London trips for Huddersfield. After they play us, they play Palace away. In their last 5 games, they haven't won since the 26th of February when they beat Wolves at home. And bizarrely, they haven't won away from home since beating Wolves again on the 26th of November at the Molineux. So it's an interesting stat, that it's weird. You never think that Huddersfield would have got all 6 points off of Wolves this season, especially the way that Wolves have been playing. But up steps West Ham for our home game. So their away form isn't that much worse than ours, to be honest with you. It really isn't. But having said that, though, this time last season, we are 9 points better off now than we were last season. So there is an argument that there's good progress being made. I mean, I know it doesn't seem that way, especially over the last couple of weeks for the Cardiff game, and also the second half of Newcastle was a laborious match to watch, really was. But for the most part of the season so far, this is the 31st game of the season, if I remember correctly, and we're looking at, we're looking better. We're looking better. We're not there yet, but we're looking better. So turning to our boys itself, Winston Reid is expected, according to Physioroom.com, to return to training by the end of this month as well. So it's good to have Winston Reid as an option. Not really sure what he's going to be able to do if any of these return to training dates are anything to go by. Last time out, obviously, as you can remember, if you want to be reminded, if you can't remember, then click on the card up here for the Cardiff review video. 20 minutes long, one of my longest reaction videos I've done for a while because there was so much to go into. But yeah, we basically lost 2-0 against Cardiff. The Cardiff were the better team. I said it then and I'll say it now. They just, to be honest with you, being a bit more relaxed now and watching the highlights back, Cardiff did deserve to be a lot better off than 2-0. We just weren't there in any shape or form. Now, during the game, Anderson was pulled off and Arnautovic was put on. Now, the reason for this, according to the commentators at the time, and I said this in the video, that it was due to Anderson having a bit of a knock, and therefore Arnautovic was put up in his place, which I get, putting Arnautovic up front, he didn't do much, but, it was good to have him up there in one guise. But apparently to Pellegrini, after the post-match interview, he was saying that it was actually a tactical reason why Anderson came off, not an injury. So could Anderson play today? Also, play at the weekend? Guys, let me know your thoughts if you want Anderson on the pitch. Now, to be honest with you, I do expect some changes to be made because of the abysmal Cardiff performance. But one player I definitely don't want to see start is Hernandez. There's no reason for that guy to dive in that game whatsoever. And he just didn't seem up for it. It's interesting to be reading his comments that were up on the website today, the official website today, to say that we need to be bucking ideas up. Well, as I said about Ogbonna when he said the same thing before he went on that really good run that he's on at the moment. Look yourself in the mirror. You're half the reason why, because you're not scoring, mate. I know you're trying hard. I've said it most of the times before anybody jumps on me. I know he's trying hard, but it's just, more effort needs to come out for him. Now, another player that I think should be rested or either on the bench or out of the squad entirely, and please don't jump on my back because you guys know how much I love this player. He is Mr. West Ham in every shape or form, but Noble, the last couple of games, I don't think he's been the Noble that we need when it comes to these sort of games. I love him, as I say. He's been a hammer as long as I have, basically. Well, I've been a hammer longer than he is technically, but do you know what I mean? He is Mr. West Ham to me, and always will be. But I'm really think he needs to be dropped for this game. But this is the problem. I'm struggling to see to think of anybody that can come in and make an improvement from what we've got. So, guys, let me know what your starting 11 is going to be. This is who I put down for my starting 11. Now, in goal, remaining as always, Fabianski. What a rock he's been for us this season. I keep mentioning it all the time, but I'm glad this guy's proven me wrong, because I was very resilient about him. Reticent about him when we signed him in the summer, but he's proven me wrong, and I'm very grateful for that. At right back, I would have Zabaleta, taking nothing away from Ryan Fredericks. I just think that Zabaleta will be a little bit better when it comes to this game. I really do. He'll offer a bit more of that defensive nous. He's not as fast as Fredericks in any shape or form. We all know that. He's got pace on him, Zabaleta. Don't get me wrong, but it's more of a Bobby Moore style pace now. But I would have him. I really would have him for this weekend. Diop, and if Balbuena is fit enough, I would start Balbuena with Diop. I really would. If not, then Ogbonna. That Balbuena and Diop together were superb at the start of the season. Ogbonna and Diop are getting a very good understanding with each other. Regardless of those stupid goals that we conceded against Cardiff, they were working. They do work very well. And I would have Creswell at left back. I would have one holding midfielder, and everybody knows who it's going to be. The London young player of the year, and the recently confirmed today Irish young player of the year. Sorry, I'm really sorry, but that's very funny. But it's understandable. He played brilliantly throughout the entire 2018 January to December. Played very well. So completely understandable. Declan Rice, I really would have him as the holding midfielder. I would have a midfield four of Antonio, Lanzini, Nasri and Anderson. Guys, if we had Yarmolenko fit, I would say him for Antonio. Imagine Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Nasri and Anderson all playing together. God, that would be fantastic. Antonio deserves it. He's played very well. He played very well when he came on against Cardiff, and he played very well for him when he played against Newcastle. So he's really starting to own that right position at the minute. For me personally, that's that four. That's my midfield four. I really would. But the thing is that this is the logistical nightmare that I've got on this. Okay, because Anderson, very good player, really, but he needs to work on his corners, man. They have been shocking. I mean, don't get me wrong. Snodgrass has got him on point. He's absolutely had him on point. But I'm not really sure if this is a game for Snodgrass. I would rather have Anderson, because he's still a bit unpredictable. With Snodgrass, people know what he's going to do for the majority of the time. Anderson, he can fool people very quickly, and he just edges that for me. Will we have Lanzini taking the corners? Don't see any reason why not. He's pretty good at taking corners, but Anderson really needs to shape up with his corners. But as I say, in terms of the game, the open play, I would have Anderson out there. Now, a centre forward position, or striker, whatever you want to call it, it has to be an Arnautovic for me. It really, really has to be an Arnautovic, because Carroll isn't good enough. Apparently he's picked up a knock again, which Pellegrini confirmed the other day. So that leaves us with Perez, not an option. Hernandez, not an option, as I said earlier. So it's going to have to be either an Arnautovic, or is Manuel Pellegrini going to be brave and put De Silva out? But can't see it. I think he's only come back from me. I think he's still got problems with his hernia anyway, or is just literally just coming back from it. One of the two. So for me, unfortunately, guys, it is putting an Arnautovic up front. I don't like the bloke. You know, I've in terms of his attitude, especially the last couple of games he's played. But will this be this? This is the turning point for Arnautovic, as far as I'm concerned. If he starts, will he prove that he needs to be starting as the way that he thinks he does? And will Pellegrini risk or try having an Arnautovic up front? It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be very, very interesting. So those are my thoughts on the game, guys. As always, thank you very much for your time. If you're new around here and you like what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get first dibs on all of the videos. As always, as I said, guys, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, who your starting 11 would be. Do you agree with my starting 11? It's always good to have a conversation with you guys. And what do you feel about the game? And let me know what the result's going to be. I called a result for the Cardiff game, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not jinxing it. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video and you feel I deserve it, please click the like button, and please also share this content with anybody that you feel on any other platform you wish. If you want to find me on Facebook, go to www.facebook.com/backstroke, as it technically is, JPWHUTV. You'll find a group under that name, and also a page for the website for the channel under that name. If you want to tweet me at JPWHUTV, and if you're on fanvibe.com, then you can find me on that there as well, with the username of JPWHUTV as well. So put your comments in there on fanvibe.com if you wish. Links are in the description below as always, guys. But in the meantime, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you at the weekend in the Saturday evening for the reaction video. You take care now.